This is a special report from True Crime Today and the Hidden Killers podcast.
I'm Tony Bruschi. Thanks for joining us. It's no longer a speedy trial for Bryan Kohberger and a case and a trial saga that could last multiple years. In a recent development concerning the University of Idaho student homicide, Bryan Kohberger's capital murder trial has been indefinitely postponed. The decision comes as a result of Kohberger waiving his right to a speedy trial today. The trial was previously set to commence on October 2nd. Ann Taylor, the lead public defender representing Kohberger, cited inadequate time for appropriate legal counsel as the primary reason for the postponement. Addressing the court, Taylor mentioned the defense intends to rest the trial date only once, with no subsequent changes. Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson labeled the decision as a smart move, acknowledging the strategic, logistical implications of the trial's delay. Moreover, the presiding judge, John Judge of Idaho's 2nd Judicial District, repeatedly sought confirmation from Kohberger to ensure he was fully aware of the right he was waiving. Absolutely was what Kohberger decisively responded with. Joining us to discuss is Bob Motta, defense attorney and host of the podcast Defense Diaries. Bob, it's been on track for a speedy trial this whole time. Why the sudden change today?
Well, strategically, the reason that a defendant and their attorney will keep that speedy demand in is to put a ton of pressure on the state to get their case ready way, way faster than they normally would have to. Mm-hmm. So strategically, but on the flip side of that, it also plays against the defense for all the things that I just talked about. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, 100%. This is like, yeah, you're putting the pressure on the state, but at the same time, you've got a client that's staring the death penalty and potentially the firing squad right in the face, and you're rushing to trial yourself. And you have these issues that arise, as we can see with the discovery, yep. So it's a very, very hazardous path to take. Mm-hmm. And it's a very, very calculated risk by the defense if they decide to go to trial on the 2nd. And we'll find out. I mean, the state's going to put a case on. I can guarantee you that. Will it be as thorough as it could be? Maybe not, but they're going to put a case on and it's going to be cogent. To me, if it's me personally, if I'm representing Kohberger, I'm saying, hey, look, we try to put as much pressure on them as possible because that really forces them to get the discovery and not slow play the discovery. That's one of the advantages of the defense. They want to get everything in. Mm-hmm. And, and the judge is going to set deadlines. Like, you got to turn everything over by this date. And that's it. If you don't, it's barred from being introduced. Mm-hmm. You can't introduce anything that you didn't turn over. So they do it to put that pressure on. But at the end of the day, you've really got to evaluate, look, and she's the one, Ann Taylor's the one who knows, what they have in terms of a defense. Sure. If there really is an alibi, if there really is somebody that the state's going to put on that on cross-examination, she's going to be able to extract what they're saying would be an alibi. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, she knows that, none of us do, and she's advising him. Whether or not he chooses to accept his attorney's advice. And I don't know what her advice might be. Because, look, I mean, the one disadvantage to the defendant is if this thing takes 3 years to get to trial, say he waives, I mean, believe me, Tony, when I tell you this, law enforcement is going to be investigating all the way up until the day of trial. They're going to be trying to dig up anything that they can that helps convict this guy.
And the drama continues. Bob Motta, host of the podcast Defense Diaries and defense attorney, thank you for your insight on this case in this moment. We, of course, will continue to cover this for you. My name is Tony Bruschi. Be sure to press subscribe so you don't miss any breaking developments as we have them. Stay with us.
This has been a special report from True Crime Today and the Hidden Killers podcast.